kind of cool.
For every man, woman, and child you know.
Ask for a free demonstration now.
But wait, there's more.
What a wild idea.
It's Ad Nauseam, the show where two old, balding advertising dudes watch spots, crack wise, and drop knowledge as they critique the good, the bad, and the exceedingly ugly commercials of yesterday and today. Now, here's the Siskel and Ebert of commercial criticism. The Ad World's Boob Tube Brothers, Mike and Joe.
All right, let's get ready to put commercials on the spot.
Now, most spots are forgettable. Disposable annoyances that interrupt your favorite on-air or online show.
Yeah, but Joe, some spots really make their mark and stand the test of time. Like this one for Coca-Cola starring Mean Joe Green.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
Want my Coke?
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's the way it should be. I like to say,
See you around.
the whole world is smiling with me. Coca-Cola has right. Have a Coke and a
Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
Okay, our adventure begins, and it doesn't get any prettier than this.
Well, let's set the stage. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the NFL's team of the 1970s, if you remember, along with the Oakland Raiders. And they last won the Lombardi Trophy for the Super Bowl championship in 1979. Now, that's the same year that this celebrated commercial came out. And at the center of the spot, Joe, is the notorious tough guy of the Steelers' defensive line, Hall of Famer Mean Joe Green. What do you remember about Joe?
Well, he was once-in-a-lifetime defensive player.
Yeah, edge rusher, as they call him now.
Yeah, as they would call him now. And he had skills that were incomprehensible. You couldn't stop him.
Yeah, he was mean, too. I mean, he had a
mean on the
streak.
football field,
He had a mean streak, too.
Yeah.
You know, and why this spot is a classic, a Clio Award winner created by the ad agency McCann Erickson, let's get into why that is. Let's give it some background. As I said, the spot first ran in October of 1979. And that's not all that long after there were race relation issues. Historically speaking, you know, we had the civil rights movement, the assassination of Martin Luther King, school integration problems, urban riots, lingering racism. So, in my mind, it's no accident that they cast a large black man with a small white kid.
It's the most fantastic thing I ever heard. Who's your shrink?
Now, do you agree?
Nah, not entirely.
You're a non-believer. Why should we waste time on kabuki?
I have to say that the 1970s were more of a, what's that word I'm looking for? Anathema? What's it called?
Anathema.
For what happened in the 60s.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of healing and things that went on. This is a sign of the healing from the 60s. And I think the point was that everybody was starting to, nowadays we could throw it out the window. We need this spot more than ever. But what you needed then was, it was a celebration, I thought, of race relations. And like I said, I think the beauty of it is that he is a gentle giant. And the kid feels comfortable with his hero.
And
he's trying
idolizes him in a way.
Yeah, he's looking up. The country looked up to Mean Joe Green.
Yeah.
Who didn't like the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Sure.
They were diverse. They were crazy. They were fun.
Yeah.
They were winning like crazy, and everybody was on that team.
Right.
But I think I'm not going to. I guess you can easily say there's a race relation thing with it, but some of it's more of a human relation thing.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a human side to that big Joe Green, and there's and the little boy sees it in him. He sees it enough to share his Coke with him.
Right.
Okay.
And in return, what does he? Mean Joe sees.
He sees a fan in a different light.
Yeah, and
he's
a human gesture.
Right.
Given to him.
Remember now, he's coming up. He's injured.
Yeah.
And he's dejected, and he doesn't feel good about playing football, and it's wearing on him.
Yeah.
And the little boy renews his spirit to play again, to be the hero that he is.
An act of kindness that he repays
Yeah, with his jersey, but but the jersey is also a sign of acceptance and reciprocation, and a gift.
Now, who can argue with that?
You said something interesting about how it's relevant today. Now we're in this whole Black Lives Matter,
need this more than ever.
Matters movement. Race relations, some would say, with police and so forth, is not as good as it should be. So you're saying it's as relevant, or could be as relevant today.
That's from a time where there was divisiveness like that.
Sure.
And to bridge that gap, and to see that sentimental feeling and that whole idea between a little fan and a big football player is beautiful. And I think they should recreate this spot today.
Let's talk about it from an advertising standpoint. There is no feature or benefit, in traditional feature or benefit mentioned in this particular commercial.
Right.
There is no, hey, it's fizzy. Hey, it tastes good during the summer.
Yeah.
Hey, it's caramel colored. Hey, it gives you a kick because it's got caffeine in it.
There isn't any rule against it. It's been done before.
It has nothing to do with that. Why do you think that is? Is it about associating your product with a feeling and an emotion?
Yeah, about people that they knew Coca-Cola all their lives. You grow up on it. And now worldwide they grow up on it, and now it's the most recognizable brand in the world.
Yeah,
and it has. So you didn't, even in those days, you didn't have to throw it down anyone's throat. That you knew what it tastes like. You knew what it felt like to hold a cold bottle. You knew what it was like.
Yes,
but you knew. But one thing you didn't know. You didn't know that it could be used to bring a message like that.
This is a very fresh approach.
So what you're saying is it's a mature product that doesn't need to go down the traditional intellectual feature benefit route to convince you, yes, that is a better bottle of soda.
Right.
What it does need to do, though, is associate its brand, the Coca-Cola brand, with something you value, something you want to feel, something you want to associate yourself with. And that's
exactly what that did.
That's what that did.
It associated the brand with something really very cool.
Let's look at what Pepsi was doing at the same time. They were doing the Pepsi Challenge.
Yes.
And what was the Pepsi Challenge?
A large, broiled, juicy sirloin steak smothered in onions and mushrooms with an order of French fried potatoes.
It was you're in a supermarket, and you would go. An ordinary person would have A and B cups.
Blind taste test.
Blind taste test. You go what, and they always like Pepsi better. So, but what's
so they're selling that on flavor, which is a benefit, as opposed. So what's more memorable? I'm going to ask. Something that is more associated with your own values and your own personality, your own emotions,
right? Or
an intellectual idea that maybe it does taste better.
Associating your product with emotion, especially a soda like Coca-Cola, was brilliant.
Yeah. So this proves that a brand can have a social message and a social intent to it.
Right.
And even if you reject, and I'm perfectly happy to say I'm wrong about how the casting was not a mistake, a small white boy and a large, intimidating, let's say, black athlete.
That's why you get less money, because you don't think.
That little boy looked at him like a hero, like a superhero.
Yeah.
Like Superman.
But that's a company, I hear you, that's a company that is associating itself with a feeling and an emotion and a social cause. I would say that this is one of the earliest social responsibilities, social consciousness, have a message kind of spots that are pretty prevalent today. Why don't we look at the spot again and talk about it? So we're going to play it here.
And here they are now.
So here he is limping down the causeway.
You need any help?
Oh, the kid, that breaks your heart. Do you need any help?
And the kid's got a giant bottle of Coke.
But in his hands, it looks like it looks
like a 32 ouncer.
What a great athlete, by the way.
Now Joe chugs and the kid dejectedly walks away.
Look at that look on his face. It's so sincere.
And he gets the big sweaty jersey and is very happy to get it.
Thanks, man, Joe.
Have a Coke and a smile, baby.
That's a beautiful spot. Both Mike and I give it 2 Peptos for fast, effective relief of ad nausea.
Okay. That's all the ad nausea we'll force upon you for now.
Hey, what's your favorite or least favorite spot? Share it in the comments below.
And be sure to crush the like button and subscribe.
That way we can get paid to run commercials on this show that's about commercials. Bing!
So join us next time on Ad Nauseam. We'll be right back after these unimportant messages.
Yeah.
Well, that is that.
Get out of here!
Only 98 cents wherever toys are sold.
Oh, you look so good.
I just got the craziest idea.
Hello, everyone.
Will it make me sick like the reefers did?
You know,